What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time since I have done a YouTube video, and I know I said I was going to try and push out some more content for you guys, so that's my goal, is to kind of start this back up again and just get it going. So today we are going to talk about my diet. I get tons of questions about my diet, and I get so many questions about the type of diet that I follow. And that is basically what I'm going to go over today. I would kind of say that my diet isn't the most traditional, like, bro science, 6 meals a day, you know, kind of thing. It's more intuitive. I do a lot of intuitive eating now. I don't really count macros. I have done that in the past. But I'm happier just eating more intuitively, and I find that I just can really tune into what my body needs and what I feel for that day. So that's kind of why I enjoy it. So as far as the type of diet that I follow, I would say that I'm high fat and lower carb, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm full-blown ketogenic diet, because that is when your carbs are very, very low. I love having a high fat diet. I honestly feel like it's very nourishing for my body. I feel like it's helped me with a lot of the health issues that I've had in the past. And I honestly just love it. My energy is higher. I can think better. I'm not like exhausted all day. Like, I know when I eat carbs, I'm more kind of out of it, and I'm really just not really feeling my most like energetic self. So I do have carbs, but I just have them at nighttime, where I can literally just eat a bunch of carbs, and then I'm really exhausted and happy and full, and I can just like fall asleep really well. So that's kind of how I integrate carbs into my diet. I literally just have them at nighttime, like at my last meal of the day. As far as the other meals of the day, I just make sure they're very nutrient dense, tons of vegetables, lots of fat, good quality protein. It's all very important to me. I make sure I keep basically those 3 things in every meal: high quality fats, high quality protein, and tons of vegetables. And like I said, I don't really follow like a 6 meal kind of thing. It's more like 2 or 3 meals a day. But don't get me wrong, even though it's only 2 or 3 meals a day, those meals are very, very large. So usually my first meal of the day is like around 11 o'clock or noon. I do intermittent fasting, and that's probably another video, but I do honestly really like that as well. But my first meal of the day isn't until later on. It's usually like a high fat, very nutrient dense meal. It's usually a smoothie. That's usually how I get the most nutrients into my diet at my very first meal, because, you know, once you're fasted, anything you put in your body at that state is just going to be like, it's just going to absorb it, because you are hungry or whatever. Your body wants the nutrients, so it's just going to absorb like the most of your first meal, I guess you could say. Does that even make sense? I don't know. Anyways, so like I said, the first meal of my day is probably around 11 or noon, and it's a smoothie, high fat, avocados, flaxseed, chia seeds, leafy greens. I put some gelatin in there. I also do some like vegan protein powder. I'm not vegan, but I do feel like my body digests it a lot better. And I also put in like spirulina and chlorella and a lot of just very, very nutrient dense stuff. I like to do that, because then I kind of know that I've jam-packed all these nutrients at least into one meal every day, so I know that every day I'm at least getting one super, super high quality nutrient dense meal. That's kind of what I prefer. And keep in mind that even though it's a smoothie, it's still very, very high in calories too, because like I said, since I'm doing intermittent fasting, my calories are condensed into a window, basically a window of time where I'm eating. So my smoothie has tons of calories, because that's when I start my first meal. It's very big. It's a very big smoothie. It's like a huge, huge thing, and I down it, and it honestly keeps me very, very full too. I put extra vegetables in there, like cucumber and celery and stuff like that, and turmeric, just some really, really good stuff. So as far as like a second meal or a snack, it kind of depends how hungry I am. and like kind of what my workout schedule was that day. But typically it's like, you know, maybe a smaller meal or like a snack or something. Just depends on how hungry I am, I guess. Some seeds or nuts, or I'll just do more vegetables with some protein and some fats. I honestly just feel like that's how I feel my best, is just kind of waiting until my carbs are at the end of the day. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, dinner time comes around. Usually it's like a feast of a meal. It's a lot bigger of a meal with more stuff on my plate. I go to bed full. I don't like, you know, I don't go to bed hungry at all. That's not the thing. I definitely keep my diet very nutrient dense and full. When you get a lot of vegetables, naturally you have to eat a lot of them, so you're just like, you're fuller and you get your fiber and phytonutrients and stuff like that. So as far as for dinner, it's, like I said, a carb source, whether that's sweet potato or squash or white rice. I stay away from gluten. So a lot of my carb sources are more nutrient dense naturally with, you know, colorful vegetables like sweet potato and stuff, or like fruit too. And it's awesome because then you're full and you have carbs and you're like all satisfied, and kind of like at the end of your day, you're just kind of like ready to relax and stuff. And the carbs, like, you know, they kind of just like sedate you in a way. So, when I'm ready to go to bed, I sleep so well. I've noticed that with a high fat diet, if I go to low carb for a long time, my sleep starts getting kind of wacky, and I don't know, I just feel like I do, you know, you do need carbs. Carbs are good. A lot of people say carbs are bad. I personally believe that having too many carbs are bad. I only think you really need a certain amount of carbs every day to be functional and to have good workouts. But as far as the rest of it goes, like, you really don't need too many carbs every day to function. Like, fat is such a better fuel source that it's better for your gut health. It's better for your brain. You just think better. I honestly, everyone that I've heard of using a ketogenic diet or more of a high fat diet, they still do eat some carbs, like a little bit, but with a high fat diet, it's just better for your body. It's just better for your body. I'm just gonna say it. Some people might hate that, but you know, it is what it is. And there's tons of science to back that up as well. Anti-cancer, it's actually used in a lot of cancer preventing and treating protocols too. So that just goes to show how powerful it can be. As far as things that I avoid in my diet, I don't eat sugar for multiple reasons. One, because I've had a candida issue in the past and I still kind of battle with that sometimes. When I eat sugar, I'm just very sensitive to it, and I notice that if I have sugar at night, I don't sleep that well. My skin doesn't look as good. I just feel that sugar really affects me negatively, and I honestly feel like it affects other people negatively as well. And I just, it's something that I've been preaching for a long time, is to remove sugar from the diet, and like its importance of it, because sugar feeds bad bacteria in your body. There's now links that sugar actually causes cancer. So it's just something that I've completely removed from my diet, and I feel amazing. I don't crave sugar. It's honestly incredible. I have like freedom from like the sugar trap. I have like freedom from that, and it's not something that I stress about or desire every day. I actually just created an ebook recently that I'm launching. It may be up by the time this goes up, but an ebook will be on my website, and it's about how I've detoxed from sugar. So check that out if you have issues with sugar too. I also tend to stay away from dairy and grains and soy, and I find that those are more inflammatory, especially if it's just not good quality. Like, you know, dairy that is not organic, it's not good for your gut. It causes more inflammation. The best types of dairy is like raw, pasteurized, grass-fed dairy, like butter, cheese, milk. You know, if you're gonna have dairy, it's better to have those things. I personally don't, because I have like a full-blown allergy to dairy. So I don't eat dairy, but I feel great too not having it. And every person that I've told to try not having dairy for a little bit, they've always said amazing things of how it makes them feel. So I also avoid grains mostly. I still do have gluten-free grains every so often, and sometimes I use that as like my carb up meal at night. But as far as grains goes, they're just not like, they're not the best. There's always more nutrient dense sources of carbs you can have that are not grains. And grains actually contain anti-nutrients that, it's like the outer coating of grains that actually prevent you from absorbing other minerals and vitamins from the other foods that you're eating too. So, you know, if you have grains, it's not a bad thing. Of course, if it's gluten-free, that's better, but you know, there are better sources of carbs to choose from. So, yeah. And then I also avoid soy as well. So that's very, soy is very estrogenetic. I hope that's a word. If not, I just made it up. But it basically is just, it increases the amount of estrogen that you can have in your body. And I've had estrogen dominant issues in the past. So that's just something that I avoid to just make sure that I'm not increasing my estrogen levels. Because as a female, it's, you know, you of course you have estrogen, but having too much of it isn't a good thing. And I had too much of it at one point. So I just keep that as a minimum. And also soy is inflammatory as well. There's studies on that. There's tons of research. If you have any questions about like why these certain foods are inflammatory and why it's best to avoid them, just do a quick Google search and you'll see just a bunch of stuff out there as well. So as far as alcohol goes, I really don't drink that often. Red wine is fine for me, but sometimes I realize that it doesn't really sit with me that well. So I've actually been drinking tequila recently, and I've been loving tequila. So I know that's like way random, but yeah, I really don't drink that often, but when I do, I just keep it like minimal, and I just choose the ones that make me feel the best and that are gluten-free, like gin and tequila. Tequila is made from agave, gin is made from, I think, juniper berry or something. So, you know, grain-free, gluten-free, those are just the ones that I feel support my body the most, even though alcohol is not that supportive for the body. But anyways, so yeah, guys, this kind of like sums up my diet. I do intermittent fasting, high fat diet during the day. At night, I have my carb up meals. I do intuitive eating. I don't really count macros anymore. I feel awesome from it. If you guys have any questions about the kind of diet, you know, this diet that I follow, or any specific questions about them, feel free to just leave a comment below and I will get back to you. Please make sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.